preparing for a grueling race in hot conditions. Over 200 people are taking part in this year's Kilifi Gold Triathlon in Kenya's coastal region. Narani Club offering more than just a sporting venue for the event.
I thought that this year I should do something really nice for the holiday, and this is it. This is like the perfect holiday well spent.
What it helps us with as well is to improve the occupancy of the hotel and also to get guests to also be aware of Kilifi as a town. I think still many people are not aware of Kilifi and what it has to offer.
Justin from Tanzania is one of the international participants this year. The competition is in its 15th edition and organizers had to cap entries at 250 so as to be able to guarantee participants' safety.
I started training for triathlon last year. I mean, just for swimming and biking and everything last year. So this is the first one that came up. Then I decided to join in.
We're definitely getting more people from around Kenya. We know that people flew in from across Africa today. We've had people flying in from the UK. So yeah. But we like to keep a real Kilifi flavour to it.
Once the race starts, everyone is keen to get some good results on the board. The competitors tackle a 750-meter swim, 20-kilometer bike ride and a 5-kilometer run. Participants can take part as individuals or in teams. And for some, the race ended prematurely after mechanical challenges. The event is more than just some fun in the sun. Since 2003, the Kilifi Gold Triathlon has been using the competition to raise funds for different charities within this community. This year, the money will go to the Creek Safety Initiative.
Unfortunately, for many people, they don't have particularly good swim skills. And we've seen, unfortunately, an increasing number of drownings over the years. And we think that with the right information, people will be better equipped to use the water safely.
Doing a race and then you know that your participation, your registration fee, the fact that you're here goes back to a worthy cause, it's inspiring.
As endurance sport, triathlon is linked with physical fitness, and for many competitors, that stamina is what they were putting to test.
It's a chance to prove yourself, to push your body, but it's also a chance to come together with a huge range of like-minded people and just have a day out. It doesn't matter the age, the race, the color of the skin, the wealth, the status. We've got everyone competing on the same level playing ground.
The competitors are amateur triathletes, and so for many of them, success was defined by the ability to finish the race, regardless of the time it took them to cross the line. Celestine Karoney, CGTN, in Kilifi, Kenya.
Right now, for more on that grueling three-discipline event, we can now go to CGTN Celestine Karoney, who is standing by for us in Kilifi. Celestine, the Kilifi Gold Triathlon does definitely show that the sport is popular along the Kenyan coast. Why exactly is that?
Well, Mahia, a couple of factors really contribute to making triathlon popular in this region. The first really will be the availability or easy access to an open water. Swimming in a triathlon is usually contested in open water. So anybody who wants to take on triathlon will just run to the beach, go into the sea, learn how to swim, and then train easily. Unlike other parts of Kenya where if you don't have a lake maybe or a dam, then for you to train or try and be a triathlete for swimming, you'd have to pay either a public swimming pool, which are very few, or a private swimming pool for you to train and get that expertise on that level. And then also there's the weather factor, Mahia. It's usually very warm around the year here, and so that is very favorable for many of the triathletes, especially when it comes to swimming. One of them today told me that last week they were competing in Western Kenya, and it was very cold, and the swim was really harder than it usually is because of that factor. And also, Mahia, like with many sports, there's also the issue about history. You find that in Kenya triathlon history, many of the early founders, or rather those who competed early on in the competition, were from this region, and they passed on their knowledge or their passion for the sport to others, and as a result, it just grew popular in this region. And so, Mahia, these are some of the things that we see coming together really to make triathlon popular in the Kenya's coast.
And Celestine, obviously Africa's leading lights in this sport are obviously countries like South Africa, Egypt and Morocco. But just tell us more about Kenya's investment in this growing sport.
Well, many people we spoke to here, first we have to say that the sport is amateur at best, really, because we met at least 2 guys who are using today's competition as really a training run, and they call themselves a semi-professional, but they say that the investment or rather development of the sport is really being curtailed by, one, the lack of funding. They say it is quite expensive to get involved with triathlon, and we saw a number of clubs that have come together around this region to try and get sponsorship and try to get funding for their athletes who they feel are really good and could get Kenya some medals continentally in this competition. They say that funding, especially when you look at whether it's the mountain bike or the road cycling bike that you need to buy to compete in the cycling part of that of a triathlon, that is really expensive. And then remember, this is a 3-discipline event, so you need 3 different coaches to make sure that you can, compete successfully in all the 3 events. And then again, you find, Mahia, that many people think because Kenyans are very good in endurance running, then ultimately they would be good in any other endurance event. But then the fact that this is swimming, cycling and running means that this is a whole different kind of athlete, not just the regular runner we normally know here in Kenya. Another thing we've also been told, really, Mahia, is that now makes it very difficult for others to grasp the mindset needed to compete. One person here who has a running club, not a running club, but a triathlon club in the coast, told us that the problem they're facing when they try to introduce the sport to many people is that people tell them, oh, okay, swimming is difficult, cycling is difficult, maybe I'll just try and run. So it is that mindset also that Mahia, they are trying to beat, and they believe that they are succeeding, and that over time the sport will gain some more popularity and probably get a bit more traction as far as getting more people competing in the sport, Mahia.
All right, Celestine, thank you very much for that insight. Exciting times down at the Kenyan coast. CGTN Celestine Karoney speaking to us live there from Kilifi.